Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, and that one too, yeah. Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. I was just reading up on some of the workouts that I used to do before I had a home gym. You see, things used to be pretty crazy back in the days before everybody had any fancy home gym equipment. And don't freak out, okay? But what I'm about to tell you may shock you. Nay, it may scare you, frighten you even. Tug at the very nerves deep in your amygdala. My home gym didn't always look like this. I know. It started with cat litter bags, dog food bags, and a box from a futon that Amazon sent us inexplicably. Yes, a box that I used as a bench. But the dark ages are behind us. We no longer have to stab our neighbors, figuratively, to get a crusty, rusty old barbell off of Craigslist. Who the hell uses Craigslist anymore? In 2025, home gym gear is everywhere, and manufacturers are throwing hands to build smarter, better, and more versatile equipment for your home gym. Because gone are the days of a calf raise machine taking up 6 square feet of floor space in your home gym. Home gym owners, like you and me, want multifunctional equipment. Equipment that really earns its spot in your space. Enter the Anubis half rack and functional trainer. And its best bud, the Bastet adjustable bench from Mikolo Fitness. Yes, Mikolo Fitness, long known as a budget brand, is entering the arena of premium fitness gear with this amazing duo. And honestly, it's a huge step forward. It's not perfect, but it's close. So let's talk about what I love, what I'd tweak, and who this gym equipment is actually for. I'm BJ from the Iron Clinic, and this thick, chrome-accented bad boy is the Anubis half-rack functional trainer. And this sleek beauty is the Bastet adjustable bench. The Anubis is Mikolo's first fully original, built from the ground up rack. It's built not just to look like a premium piece though, but built to function as close to a commercial piece of equipment as possible for your home gym. Even the name Anubis was very carefully chosen, symbolic to represent protection, guidance, and judgment. The Bastet bench, also original, built to match the rack's stability and design language. It features 3x3 steel tubing, an upright storage peg, and yes, it fits upright inside the rack itself for easy storage. Spoiler though, you're gonna want some tall ceilings. But if you've got the vertical clearance, it is shockingly compact for what it can do for your home gym. The Anubis is built from 11 gauge 3x3 steel tubing, which gives it incredible rigidity and a premium feel. It stands approximately 51 inches wide, 91 inches tall, and about 31 inches deep without the safety arms installed. Once you do fold out those safety arms, Mikolo calls them the JED, the rack extends to about 55 inches deep. These fold-out arms lock securely in place when in use, and they'll collapse up nice and cleanly when they're not, which saves you some valuable real estate in your home gym. Despite the size, they are rated for 1,000 pounds, and the J-Cups are rated for 800 pounds themselves. The uprights feature 1-inch holes with 2-inch spacing all the way up and down. On the sides, however, they went with holes that are 5/8 of an inch. We're going to come back to that later because it does affect accessory compatibility. Now, let's talk about the functional trainer portion. Each side comes with a 154-pound weight stack operating on a 2-to-1 ratio, which effectively means that the felt weight at the end of the cable is about 77 pounds. While this does reduce the maximum output of weight at the end of the cable, it does allow for a much longer cable path, ideal for things like your chest flies, rear delt flies, and your pull downs. All the pulleys themselves are made of aluminum, which gives them a buttery, smooth, and quiet motion. The trolleys slide up and down effortlessly, and they're trimmed with a chrome accent that I have fallen in love with on this rack. You can adjust the cable trolleys anywhere from 13 inches off the ground all the way up to 74 inches off the ground, which has been more than enough for every exercise that I've tested. The all-metal construction of these trolleys looks, feels, and sounds amazing. I mean, just listen. There's something just genuinely satisfying about that click when the trolley sets itself into place. As for accessories, Mikolo includes a fantastic set for your home gym. 2 fully knurled metal cable handles, a dual hook straight bar, a lat pull-down bar, a T-bar row handle, a tricep rope, and an ankle strap. Everything looks and feels solid and fits seamlessly into this ecosystem. You also get an adjustable cable row foot plate and a landmine attachment. Both are incredibly easy to install and use and really round out that total body workout experience. Storage is handled with an all-metal pegboard and hooks, as well as a dumbbell storage rack. Both of these add incredible organization as well as stability. The rack feet include pre-drilled holes if you wanted to anchor it down to the ground, but they also include rubber feet underneath them to prevent slipping and sliding if you don't want to anchor it. Whether you're lifting light or heavy, the Anubis is gonna stay in place. I haven't anchored it down through my rubber mats here, and it hasn't moved an inch since I set it up. Assembling the Anubis was a bit of a journey, but not because of poor instructions. Everything was clearly labeled, the manual made perfect sense, and everything fit together actually very well, without much fuss at all. The challenge though was that I put it together by myself. I really don't recommend you do that. You see, this unit is tall and heavy. Connecting the uprights to the cross members is very difficult. It's doable, but I would not recommend it, and Mikolo certainly doesn't either. That said, the packaging was incredibly protective. Everything arrived without a single scratch on it. It was so well wrapped that it was honestly almost annoying to get all the bubble wrap and tape off of it. But this is a good problem to have, and it really speaks to the premium feel and quality that Mikolo is trying to build with this unit. There were no dings, no scratches, no shipping issues whatsoever. And that's not an easy thing to admit when FedEx delivers it for you. As for the Bastet Bench, assembly was exceptionally straightforward. To be honest though, I did have to go out and buy a bigger wrench for this thing. The bolts they used on this 3x3 tubing are enormous. I've never seen bolts this big.
That's what she said.
But once together, this thing is solid and feels very high-end. The Bastet adjustable bench feels like a natural pairing with the Anubis half-rack functional trainer, and Mikolo certainly intended it to be so. It uses the same 3x3 steel construction and has a very wide base to keep this thing exceptionally stable when in use. The padding is medium firm. I wouldn't say it's the firmest I've ever felt, but it's not giving under any amount of weight I put on it, and I've been putting 350 pounds on the bench with this thing without any issues. Because of the wide base and fairly firm foam, it stays exceptionally stable even under those heavy lifts. And even under long sessions of benching or what have you, the foam itself holds its shape very well. One of the standout features, of course, is this pivoting pad on the top. It lets you shift positions on the bench for things like spider curls, rows, and hip thrusts. It honestly adds an incredible amount of versatility to make a huge difference in the value that you're getting for this bench. Additionally, the bench stores upright and fits right inside the rack when not in use. This is incredibly handy for gyms that have tight spaces. Technically, you could use your cables or even use a barbell in front of the rack while the bench is stored in front of it. But I like taking it out of there just to get rid of that claustrophobic feeling. Now, if I could change anything about this bench, I would add a knurled handle to the front here of the bench. As you know, the handle is what we're gonna use to lift this thing up, move it around, and get it into place within our gym. And currently, it's just a plain, simple, kind of wimpy looking handle. It works just fine, but a grippy, knurled handle would really accent this premium piece. And they did use a knurled handle at the back here for the adjustment portion of the bench itself. So why Mikolo neglected it on the front is unknown to me. Again though, it functions just fine. And speaking of premium, the embroidered logo here on the bench really does set this thing apart. No decals, no stickers, this is not coming off. If anything, it's just gonna stain with the work and the sweat that you put in on this bench in your gym.
Ew, gross.
But hey, a little OxyClean and elbow grease never hurt anybody. After 90 days, the Anubis is still performing rock solid. Barbell movements like squats and bench presses and overhead presses feel safe and well protected. And the UHMW on both the safeties and the J-cups keep my barbells safe from scratches too. The cable system though is truly the standout. It is smooth and quiet and just offers limitless possibilities. It's just so dang easy to adjust it mid-workout from one exercise to the next. The aluminum pulleys and trolleys really make this feel like it should be in a commercial piece of equipment at a commercial gym. Supersetting is a breeze on these things. I regularly will set them up at 2 independent heights to do either 2 different exercises for 2 different body parts, or just hit one muscle back to back to back with 2 different exercises on the 2 different cables. You can do all that without losing any rhythm on this thing, and I love it. The dual stack really does shine and makes programming so easy and fun for your workouts. Now, let's talk about what's not so great. First, the weight stacks. Although they're 154 pounds, again, they're only a 2-to-1 ratio, which effectively means that you've got about 77 pounds at the end of each cable. That's fine for most single arm movements, or even things for like tricep or bicep exercises, but for bilateral movements like your pull downs or even rows, it's just not going to be heavy enough for a lot of people. While the included pull down bar does have the ability to connect both sides together, as does the included angled pull down bar, it's not very easy to connect them on the ladder. And even when you do connect them on the straight pull-down bar, it only ends up being about 150 pounds, which is just not that much weight for most users. Speaking of the angled pull-down bar, I was able to connect them at one point during one workout when I was doing some testing, but it was incredibly dangerous because the pull-down bar's connection points are in the middle of the bar. That means the pulleys have to come all the way to meet that bar versus meeting right here at the uprights. I did try to do this a couple times, but again, trying to connect those at maximum weight for both stacks is just incredibly dangerous and silly. I wouldn't recommend you try and do it yourself. Unfortunately, there's just no built-in way to connect these stacks, even with things like my Kaizen adapter. Now, of course, you can use a gym pin, something like this, to load some additional plates on it. But that's just a workaround, and this isn't even included with the weight stack that Mikolo sends. Ideally, Mikolo offers heavier weight stacks, or at least the ability to upgrade them. What would I like to see them at? Probably at least 300 pounds if you're going to be at a 2-to-1 ratio. Obviously, that's going to increase the cost, but I think if you allow your customers to make the decision on how heavy they want it, they're going to pick what's right for them. Next, let's talk about the wear on the uprights. This is one major drawback for me and something that I think really detracts from what this system actually is and what it's worth. Neither the J-cups or the safety arms have any UHMW protection on the inside that attaches and touches the rack when they're in use. That means that every single time you install them, they are scraping the powder coating off of this thing. And I have plenty of marks to show that. Eventually, this is going to expose bare steel, which is going to lead to corrosion and rust. And that's not what you want when you're spending over $2,000 on an equipment package like this. Then there's the hole spacing. 1-inch holes on the front, 5/8 on the sides. This may be fairly minor, but it's going to limit which accessories from other manufacturers you could use on this otherwise standard 3x3 tubing. Most pieces of equipment are either going to use all of the front or all of the sides to attach, so it's probably not that big of a deal. But if it was all 5/8 or all 1-inch, it certainly would make it a whole heck of a lot easier to purchase things for yourself. Lastly, there's just no place to store these awesome safety arms. They're an incredible piece for this kit and add a lot of safety and functionality. But when I'm not using them, I just hook them over to the side and behind the rack because I don't have anywhere else to put them. It's a small thing, but having a place to store them on the rack would certainly make things tidier and nicer. Heck, if the sides of these uprights used 1-inch holes, you could store them anywhere on this rack when you're not using those holes. It's just another drawback of having 5/8 holes on the sides of these uprights. So who exactly is this rack for? Honestly, this rack is for anybody with the space and the budget to accommodate it. If you're a beginner that's looking for one piece of equipment that's going to cover all of your bases, this is a strong foundation. It's safe, it's stable, it's versatile, and it's future-proof. If you're a seasoned trainer, the Anubis half rack and the Bastet adjustable bench offer incredible construction, a premium feel, and a slick workflow that's really going to upgrade your workout experience. The only thing it can't do? Smith machine work. But hey, there's plenty of manufacturers coming out with Smith machine attachments now. And I don't think it's out of this world to think that perhaps Mikolo will one day offer an upgrade that would allow you to extend this rack further, making it a 6-post rack, giving it a full rack feel, and allowing you to perhaps pursue things like a Smith machine attachment or lever arms while still being able to use the cable trolleys included with the Anubis. So would I buy this rack if I was looking to outfit my home gym or upgrade my experience? If I was starting over completely and I knew I was committed to home gym training, absolutely. If I needed to upgrade my current system into something that's more versatile, robust, and compact, I probably still would, but it would really depend upon how invested you were into your current rack's accessory and attachment ecosystem. Remember, the uprights of the Anubis have 1-inch holes on the front and 5/8 holes on the sides. That is going to limit how you can attach certain accessories and perhaps even eliminate some of them from attaching to your rack. However, it should give you the ability to attach most things to this rack without too much fuss. The Anubis and Bastet are the real deal. You get a sturdy and premium rack, a smooth and smart cable system, a versatile adjustable bench, and a set of accessories that you'll actually use in your home gym. It's not perfect, folks, but it is so close. And I firmly believe that this will be Mikolo's first and not last foray into the premium equipment marketplace. I'm excited to see what else they do with it. I really am. I want to thank Mikolo again for sending over the Anubis and Bastet for me to review for you all. It's an incredible combo, and I am very pleased to say that it is certainly worth your time and money to have in your home gym space. For the versatility that it brings within its footprint, it is a fantastic option for any home gym out there, whether you are just starting or looking to upgrade. While not perfect, I don't think its shortcomings are impossible to navigate with a little bit of ingenuity on your own. But if you do truly want something that is set it and forget it, no fuss whatsoever, and has every single thing you could ever want in a system, this might not be the system for you. If you have any questions about the Anubis half-rack functional trainer or the Bastet adjustable bench, please leave them down in the comments below, and I'll respond to you as soon as possible. If you're interested in picking up either of these for yourself, or you want to read more about them, I'm going to include a link below that'll take you directly to them and save you some money at checkout. Additionally, if you use the coupon code IRONCLINIC at checkout, you'll save a few extra dollars. And both of those options help support the channel and all the things we do here. I really appreciate that, by the way. And hey, if you've made it this far, maybe consider subscribing and liking the video. And if you really like it, maybe leave a comment down below too. You can be as original as you want, but maybe just tell me that my hair is really frizzy or that I need to stop wearing clothes from the Baby Gap. I'm BJ from the Iron Clinic. Keep being great, keep pushing forward, and keep getting better every day.